So obviously, with the release of Velma, one of the biggest questions that we have with this show is whether or not who greenlit this stuff, right? Like whether or not anybody who worked on this show actually cared about the source material in any way, shape, or form. If they cared about the original characters, if they actually even give a crap about staying true to them in any sense of the way. And it's a question that's come up in a lot of people's minds as this show is being roasted left and right. Now, the funny thing is, the cast and creator has claimed that the HBO Max series is inspired by their love for both animation and the previous Scooby-Doo cartoons. This is something that they've actually come out and said, and honestly, I find it hilarious because when you watch Velma and you experience the show firsthand, whether through me or through actually watching the show or through watching another YouTuber, you'll realize very quickly that whoever created this show does not love the animation and the previous Scooby-Doo cartoons, because the animation is completely different. The characters are drawn almost completely different, and not only that, the Scooby-Doo characters from before are just shells of their former selves. They don't even act the same. They don't even sound the same. So for you to say that you are inspired by their original selves is hilarious to me, because it's such a lie. So we're going to get into the article, guys. This one comes from us from good old Bounding Into Comics, and it says, Velma cast and creator claim HBO Max series is inspired by their love for both animation and previous Scooby-Doo cartoons. Having seemingly realized that bastardizing a beloved IP and insulting your potential audience is not a winning strategy for endearing one's work to the public, the cast and creator of HBO Max's Velma have attempted to claim that their mean-spirited take on Scooby-Doo was born from their own love for both the original Mystery Gang and the medium of animation. How can you even say that? I just don't even. I don't understand how that's even possible for someone to say when it's so obviously not true. Like, these people must literally live for like every 5 minutes of their life. So what do I mean by that? So like they do something for 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes they completely forget what they did the last 5 minutes. It's just, there's no consistency here, right? So you made a show where you insulted the fans. The trailer for Velma literally is you insulting the fans, literally calling them racist and everything like that. You insulted the fans from the get-go before the show even came out, and now you're trying to say that you have a respect and a love for the originals? Like, that's just falling on deaf ears at this point. I don't understand that. The co-conspirators in the murder of Joe Ruby and Ken Spears' most beloved Hanna-Barbera reaction put forth their respective defenses during a recent interview regarding the series given to TV Insider. It says, met at the interview's onset by the most embarrassingly gushing praise from TV Insider's Damian Holbrook over how joke-packed he found each episode of Velma to be, series star Mindy Kaling opinion, I think that's something that we really loved about animated shows. Charlie and I are such huge fans, said the actress. What's so impressive about series creator and regular Kaling collaborator Charlie Grandy and his staff is that to do a show that's funny but also has a real mystery, there's a serial murder in the show, is really impressive to pack into a half-an-hour show. But it's not funny. That's the thing. Like, the entire show is not funny. The jokes literally fall flat every single time, and you're trying to investigate a mystery while you have kids literally killing each other in school. Like, what do you... Oh, God. It gives me a headache. It really does. I'm not looking forward to the next 2 episodes. It says, from there, Holbrook raised the topic of the series race-swapping Velma from a white person to an Indian person, to which Kaling, who herself regularly promoted the show by boasting about the orange-sweatered sloot's new heritage, dismissed its interesting. Her identity is a big part of what people have been talking about before they've seen the show, but it's not a big part of her storytelling and her life. This is a character. She's so iconic, and the original series is so amazing, and we have a really diverse cast, but it's not a show that's sort of hinged on their identity, she added. But it is! God, Kaling. Mindy Kaling, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Like, okay, so I said this on Tuesday Night Fight Night on the live stream. I said that it's either important all the time or it's important none of the time, right? So if the character being white was not important to them, right? Why was it so important for you to want to see yourself in it then? If the character is fake and the character doesn't matter, and they always say, oh, yeah, no, the character's fake, so it doesn't matter. What does it matter if you race swap it? The character's not real, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so if the character is not real and it doesn't matter, why does it matter so much for you to see yourself in a fake character that doesn't matter? Explain that to me. They can't, because they know that whole argument is false. The whole argument is BS. Nobody believes them. Obviously, it does matter. Obviously, these characters do have history that matters, and that includes how they look. So when you change the way those characters look to a completely opposite way, yes, people are going to have a problem with that. It doesn't make them racist at all. It just makes them want you to stay true to the original characters that they've grown up to love for the last God knows how many decades, Scooby-Doo has been out. It says, likewise, Grandy himself tried to claim it was a dream to work on such a classic IP as Scooby-Doo because the fun of an origin story is that we all know where they end up. So it's about, okay, where can we start them? Then in terms of just sort of terms of the mystery, I always wanted to do a season-long mystery, and so to kind of figure that out and work backwards and where you plant that information and how it can come out in a comedic series was difficult, but it's really, really fun, said the series creator. I just want to know where you finding the comedy in this show. That's the thing. Like, your idea of comedy is pretty terrible, to be honest. It says, that's the fun, the tension of it, he continued. The characters all stem from the original idea. They're all so comfortable with each other. They're in a van all the time. They really don't bicker. So it's like, how do you get that comfortable with people? You have to go through just a lot of crap to get to that point. So it's fun to show what that is. And I guess what that is exactly what's on screen. Velma and Daphne having a relationship that was never ever hinted at in the original series whatsoever. And they're just doing this because somebody on an R34 forum decided it was really hot for Velma and Daphne to try to get it on. And clearly they're trying to pander to that. You know what I'm saying? Acts next whether the script's overload of pop culture references and supposed jokes were the result of writing team's efforts on Kaling's own comedy stylings. The actress admitted, I did zero improvisation. The scripts are just so tightly scripted, I didn't need it. What I love about the character is that she has these razor-sharp feminist observations about being a young woman in that way where you like, I wish I could have been, or said that thing, or encapsulated the moment like she did, or Daphne did, or some of the other female characters' Kaling opinion, but it's all Charlie and the staff. So you admit that her views are basically hardcore feminism, so you're trying to push hardcore feminazi stuff down people's throats. So I'm glad they finally said it. It says, offering his own thoughts on stepping into the shoes of such an iconic character, Norville, voice actor Sam Richardson, recalled to Holbrook, I just love Scooby-Doo, and I loved all the characters so much, I grew up watching them. Well, too bad you're not actually playing any of them, because what you grew up watching, you're not actually playing, so that's unfortunate for you. I know fans love to have problems with things, so I was excited to get into that realm, he joked, making reference to how he was playing, in his words, a sober black Shaggy. That's incredible to me. Wow. The fact that you're trying to say you're such a big fan of Scooby-Doo and you're excited to play the characters that you grew up loving, and meanwhile you're playing a character that never existed until now, just goes to show how you really just don't care. Yet despite the supposed love for the original team and their adventures, an anecdote given by Fred voice actor Glenn Howerton would suggest otherwise. Speaking to his approach towards voicing the butt of the series, tired white people bad line of humor, the Always It's Sunny in Philadelphia co-creator explained that he wanted to make him a little more immature, a little more petulant, sound a little more like a high school kid. He doesn't sound like a high school kid. He sounds like a baby. That's the thing. He sounds like a literal baby. They emasculated Fred to the point where he is unrecognizable. I don't know what high school kid you think this sounds like, but someone saying, Cuddies, Mom, Cuddies. That's not a high school kid. That's a baby. The way I interpreted the character was completely driven by the scripts that I got handed, said Howerton. What do they seem to be going for here? Let me lean into that. He's clearly an entitled, petulant kid who's somewhat clueless. Everyone described him almost like an innocent bully. He's like a bully, but he's completely unaware of how offensive the things are that he says. Further described the actor, in his mind, he's super nice, but he says and does awful things, so that was a funny thing to lean into. Now, what exactly does Fred do awful? I just don't understand. You know what? Honestly, screw this show, man. Like, the people who are running this show, it's very clear that they have an ideology and a mindset that they want to push. And you know what? All the more power to you. If you want to lose money, that's fine. I mean, it's not really your money at the end of the day you're losing. You're losing the studio's money. And HBO Max doesn't care because they make so much money off The Last of Us, they can afford to lose money off of Velma. And they already had a season 2 plan before the show even came out. So all this supposed hate watching didn't even mean anything anyway because they were going to come out with a season 2 regardless. So it's going to continue to boost YouTubers. That's fine. I think that's the best thing about this whole situation when it comes to quote unquote hate watching something is that for every one YouTuber that watches it, thousands of other people don't watch it, and it still boosts those YouTubers and helps them garner an audience of like-minded people. So I think it's a great thing, and keep releasing trashy content so we can keep making fun of you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.